Now let's tackle Indicator 3. Applied a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking, as well as other higher order thinking skills. This indicator ensures that the teacher provides a broad range of questions and activities, including those of higher order that challenge learners to analyze their thinking to promote deeper understanding. Let learners compare and contrast ideas. They synthesize or summarize information within or across disciplines. Let's have the key concepts under this indicator. The key concepts are teaching strategies, critical thinking skills, creative thinking skills, and higher order thinking skills. So let's have teaching strategies. These are methods, approaches, or techniques that teachers use to facilitate the learning process. Teaching strategies can vary widely and are employed to help students grasp and apply new concepts effectively. Teaching strategies are the ways that we use to make our lesson easier to understand for the learners by providing them with clear explanations and relatable examples, thus increasing their engagement and accommodating their different learning styles and needs. Critical thinking skills. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information or ideas in a logical and rational manner. It involves examining information objectively, questioning assumptions, and making informed decisions or judgments. By designing lessons that enhance the critical thinking skills of our learners, we are actually helping them to think beyond just memorization. They are encouraged to look something carefully and think about it in a smart and logical way. The role of the teacher is to ask questions, provide meaningful activities where they will analyze information, and make thoughtful decisions about something. Through this, we help them solve problems and make sense of the world around them. For example, to develop the learner's critical thinking skills, the teacher can provide a scenario like this. You are lost in a forest and you have limited supplies. What are the things you would do to survive? This surely enhances the critical thinking skills of our learners. By asking them how to survive in a forest when they're lost with limited supplies enhances critical thinking skills because it challenges them to analyze their situation, problem solve, make informed decisions, and consider consequences, all of which are essential aspects of critical thinking. Creative thinking skills. Creative thinking involves generating innovative ideas, solutions, or approaches to problems. It often entails thinking outside the box, embracing originality, and combining existing ideas in novel ways. It means that we encourage our learners to come up with new and clever ideas or ways to solve problems presented to them. It's about thinking in unique and imaginative ways, like finding new uses for things or mixing different ideas together to create something new. For example, this prompt will be given by the teacher to the learners. Imagine a magical tree suddenly appears in your backyard. What extraordinary powers or abilities does it have, and how would you use them to make the world a better place? This is an example of an activity that develops the creative thinking skills of the learners because it asks them to use their imagination to invent special powers for a magical tree in their backyard and think about how these powers could be used to make the world a better place. It encourages them to come up with creative and original ideas. Maybe the learners may say, "It can grant wishes, so I'd use it to fulfill the dreams of underprivileged children and bring them joy." Next, we have higher order thinking skills. They encompass critical thinking, creative thinking, problem-solving, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Higher order thinking skills are considered more complex mental processes that lead to deeper understanding and application of knowledge. Higher order thinking skills involve thinking more deeply and creatively. It means that students show they can do more than just remember and understand basic facts. They can think in more advanced ways like figuring things out, solving problems, and making connections. Then, we have what is called metacognition. Metacognition is one example of higher order thinking. It involves thinking about one's own thinking processes, which is a more advanced cognitive skill. It means thinking about how we think. As teachers who aim to develop the higher order thinking skills of our learners, we tend to help them check how well they understand something, ask them to plan how to learn, and evaluate if their learning strategies are working. It's more advanced than just remembering facts because it helps them become a better learner by managing their thinking. For example, in science class, at the beginning of the lesson, we can ask our students to think about what they already know about the solar system and what they want to learn. This encourages metacognition by prompting our students to reflect on their existing knowledge and set learning goals of the lesson. During the lesson, you can periodically pause and ask our students to check their understanding. For example, you might say, "Pause for a moment and think about what we've discussed so far. Are there any parts you find confusing or need more clarification?" This encourages metacognition by prompting our students to monitor their comprehension and identify areas where they may need help. Then, you can also ask metacognitive questions such as, "What strategies are you using to remember the order of the planets?" These questions prompt students to think about their thinking processes and the strategies they use to learn and remember information.